In this video, we're going to be looking at the Marvel Legends controller wave. Over the course of this past week, I actually got my controller wave in from Amazon. They actually shipped every figure individually. Each of them got their own box, shipped it. Some of them were traveling the same day, some other days, but they all came in individual boxes. Even though I ordered everything together, the boxes, exterior boxes, still look good, but I still got some damages. They were crushed before they even got put into the shipping boxes. So it's not the mail carrier's fault. It is still Amazon's fault. But anyway, this is basically probably the last wave we're going to get with the window box figures. And some of the issues, I can see why they're doing away with the window box, especially this one. Her face is awful. She's got caterpillar eyebrows. Her eyes are painted poorly. Yeah, I would want to have that too. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the entire wave. Let's go ahead and start with Iron Man, since he don't have a Build-A-Figure piece. Iron Man's the only one I'm really going to take a look at the box. It's one of the things I'm really going to miss about the presentation. They used to take care displaying the figure. I like how they did this with the fist up here. Looks like his repulsor blaster actually blasting out of his hands, even though they're in the tray separately. We're not going to get to see that no more. We got the nice artwork on the side of the box. On the side of the box as well. Got the bio on the back of the box. Multiple languages. All the figures in the wave to complete the controller. Legalese, warnings, your side onion, your barcodes. Same style boxes in all these figures. Let's go ahead and just crack this open and take a look. And here we have Iron Man outside the plastic tray. He looks really good. I really like the design. I think this is a Alex Ross designed Iron Man suit. The detailing is really nice. You got some, looks like mixtures of like the classic and a modern style armor. You got the arc reactor in the middle. These two little dots, little raised sections on each side of the top of the pecs. Very much like the classic Iron Man armor. Beautiful colors. I wish the Silver Centurion was a red like this instead of that pinkish red they use. I have no idea why they use that pinkish red on that figure. And the golds are really nice. I love that shade of gold. Looks really good. And the detailing is just top notch on this one. Love all the different segments. Makes it really look like it's a articulated armor instead of just solid masses like they do sometimes with Iron Man figures. So how's he even supposed to move in that? But this looks like he could move. Got nice details throughout. You got those same reactors on the forearms and on the lower legs. All this nice segmented sections. This would have really done well with a premium paint job where they could have panel lined all these different segments. Would look really nice. I've seen a lot of customizers do that. They did put the patch numbers on the back of the leg, but at least that's not painted. This is actually molded plastic, so I can take some Winsor Newton and swipe that off. Got the mechanical looking feet. A little different style of feet than what we normally see on an Iron Man. They're squared off toes instead of the pointed toe like we normally see, like the angled toe for a regular foot. Actually dig the helmet design too. That looks pretty good. You can see a little indentation where there would be a nose underneath the mask. Looks really nice. For accessories, he comes with two alternate fists, and installed on the figure are two repulsor hands, which are both hinged. I like it when the repulsor hands are hinged instead of the fixed ones they use sometimes. We got the smoke trails. I think originally came with the Riri Williams Ironheart. And the tried and true classic repulsor blast. Fit inside the repulsor hands. So you can, being posable, you can change the directions. Really looks good for different poses. And for articulation, head is on a disc hinge with a ball joint on top. And there's a ball joint at the base of the neck, which allows for great range of movement. This should be a standard on a lot of figures for Marvel Legends. You can look way up for nice, good flat poses. Tilt from side to side. Lots of movement in that head. Disc in the shoulders. Kick out to here. The shoulder pads are made out of a softer material. Mount it at the near the bottom of the shoulder. So when you articulate up, you get that caved in section through here. Doesn't look very good, but it gets out of the way when you're articulating the figure. He'll eventually go back to its original shape. Bicep rotation, full 360, double joint elbows, get you up to here. Hinge and swivel wrist, same with a fist as well. Diaphragm joint goes back really well, which works in conjunction with the head. Great for flat poses. Full 360 at the diaphragm. But it does not crunch forward hardly at all. When you do push it forward, you get this really bad, you get an ugly seam break back here without really any benefit of crunching forward. It looks actually awkward when you go forward. It looks like just jets forward a little bit. No rotation or anything, articulation in the waist, the lower torso. It's all one solid piece. Well, it's two pieces clamped around, but you know what I mean. And you got ball jointed hips. They do the splits, kick forward, actually kick back a little bit better than a lot of Marvel Legends. Thigh rotation, double joint knees, a little stiff. Get you up to here. Boot rotation. Hinged ankles, they'll hinge up this far, go down this far, and ankle pivots. A lot of good articulation on this figure, good accessories, like the design of the armor. On to the next figure. Here we have Thor outside the packaging. He looks really good. I like this design. I think this is when he was the Herald of Galactus. I really like the look of this. It's really cool design. Looking at it, I like the two-tone cape inside. It's purple up top, been sprayed purple to do like a gradient down into red. On the back, it's all red. You got the shoulder pads. I like the way they did the shoulder pads on this. I wish they could have done it for the Iron Man. It's like they rotate with the arm. It's actually, the peg would actually goes into the shoulder, and there's a little hole in this peg that would actually, more than likely, is I've seen where they've done this before. It's a nice soft piece, so when you articulate the arm up, it should flex out of the way too. And it's very tight. There we go. And less deformation of the shoulder pad when it takes compared to the Iron Man figure. The nice details, a little bit of paint slop like on the white. I got some missing paint on this disc, and it's coming off and not really covered through here real well. I'll end up touching that up. I like the scale style armor. It looks really good. The white looks really good on the stripes on this stripe of the cape. Continues with the stripe on the costume. Get a little bit of overspray of purple through here. Not too bad. I like the textures too on the outfit. Wish we could see stuff like this more often on the comic book version of Marvel Legends. You got nice textures through here. Then like fabric textures through on the upper part of the torso, on the lower waist, on the kilt area, and the stripes actually sculpted to look like leather too. That looks really nice. Even like showing like the stretched cross muscle through here with the fabric wrinkles. Really well done. I'll see why we couldn't get more stuff like this more often in Marvel Legends instead of just Bucky caps over and over and over and over. And other figures, it's like base figures with just paint on top of it instead of costume details. I love it when they add the extra sculpting to it. You got the, looks like these red pieces on the boots is a separate piece. Really nicely done. Long blonde hair. It's a lighter blonde, what we normally see for Thor. It is a softer material. Let's go ahead and check out the articulation. The head is on a disc hinge with a ball joint on top. I don't know. Oh, yeah, that's what I was afraid of with all the hair. Can't really. Everything on this thing is very tight too. Can't really look up because of the hair. About that much, a little bit. Down, probably better. Yeah, we can get down better. Can do a 360, but you gotta be careful with rotating with the hair, and it's gonna pop the head off. It does not stay securely on that ball joint. Just a light snap on that. Disc hinge shoulders. Go up the here. And the shoulder pad moves out of the way nicely. I did have, when I first moved this shoulder, the mushroom peg's a little small too. Actually, it ripped the whole bicep off. It didn't hurt the figure, it just popped it right off that mushroom peg. Don't normally see that happen too often. Bicep rotation. Single jointed elbows, which also rotate. Hinge and swivel wrist. Diaphragm joint. You can lean back. And they actually continue the sculpt when it leans back. That's really good. A lot of times they'll end up just being bare pieces, and they really put some effort into this one. Leans forward. Does it? And we got the textures back there as well. Looks good. Can rotate full 360. Nothing at the waist. Yep, nope. Is there a waist twist too? I can't tell. No, there's no waist twist. I'm just moving that diaphragm joint. Got ball joint hips. Kick out the side. Kick forward. Kick back a little. Double joint knees. Lower knees. There we go. Get you that much. Any boot swivel? There is no boot swivel. Hinged ankles. They are pretty much well stuck. I can get like a half a click. Those are going to have to be heated up and try to break those free. As for accessories, he comes to alternate fist. Nicely sculpted. He comes with an energy effect Mjolnir with some lightning that goes around the hammer. Looks really good. I like the look of that. He's got two ravens, one with the wings out, and I think I got one with a bent leg. Might need to heat that up, straighten it out. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be crooked like that. If not, it doesn't. It stays put pretty good. We got a raven with the wings down, and we got the controller head. Next up is Quake. Here we have Quake outside the packaging, and she looks good. It should look good because it's on the new Shriek style body, the new upper torso, of course. But we got the nice new pinless bicep swivel double joint elbows, and we got the pinless legs. Anything that's on this new Shriek body looks tons better than anything on the old skinny bodies they've used forever, which is a little nitpick. Another issue I got with the Mighty Hydra from this wave. But anyway, let's take a closer look. We got the newly sculpted upper torso. Got the zipped up top. Got the harness around. Goes to the back. Got a little bit missing paint, a little bit of sloppy paint on the white. That's usually on par for when they do white over top of black colors. It's going to be a little sloppy. The lower boots would be nice if we can get some new lower legs when they do this separated cut. We can actually have a boot swivel. Got new leg straps, new belt. We got new gauntlets and hands. So we got the new head sculpt. The other accessory is we got a Maria Hill head. This one's got a little speck of black paint on the cheek. And we got alternate hands for when she's in Maria Hill mode. Or I guess you can take the gauntlets off for Quake too, but we got two trigger fingers with vertically hinged hands. And we got the style pose hands they've used forever. And you can see there's sculpted fingernails on white gloved hands. Yeah. Oh, but the trigger fingers are actually nicely sculpted to look like actual gloves. You can see the wrinkles into the hands where they actually look like gloves. We got the pistol we've seen a few times before. The smaller pistol for female figures, which I think was it the Target exclusive, the comic book White Widow, had the different effects. And it's got the hole in the barrel for the smoke trails and muzzle flashes. And we get the arm for the controller. We get the left arm. It comes with an open style hand and a fist. I actually bought 2 of these so I can configure it in both Maria Hill and Quake. So you can see the paint is a little different throughout on the figures. You got a little, not as clean a line on this one. And this Maria Hill didn't have a little paint blotch on the cheek either, so it looks better. And a little better coverage on the white on the second one, so it's going to vary throughout. The leg straps do look nice. Are they glued in place? Now they're loose pieces, you can actually move those around. They're just pulled up tight. Since we got Quake Scatter powers, I'm going to go ahead and just give the Maria Hill both the guns. We'll do the articulation on Quake. We've already seen this before on multiple figures. We got the disc hinge module on top. And all these figures, it seems like the heads just don't want to stay on him. We got up, looks really good. Down, can't really tilt side to side, but full 360. Disc hinge shoulders, you got the shield logo on this side. Goes way up. Biceps rotation, double jointed elbows. Get you a little bit of flashing there. What in the world? Massive amount of flashing when I use the double joint elbow on that one. It's like something just cut into it when I moved it. There's a big old sprue right there. So it just yanked a ton of material out when I moved that bicep swivel. When I articulated that elbow hinge, it just cut a material outside the hinge. Something you might want to be looking for. Okay. Now, there we go. Now, we got full range without the elbow. Hi. We got a diaphragm joint. It leans back this far. Leans forward. Not as much, but it does lean forward a little bit. Full 360 at that diaphragm joint. Ball joint hips. Go out to here. Kick out this much. Thigh rotation. Double joint knees. Up to here. Hinged ankles. Ankle pivots. Other than the issue with the elbow, as you saw, it's pretty decent shape. On to the next. Next up, the Blue Marvel. Here are the Blue Marvel outside the packaging, and he looks pretty good. I will have to say, not a fan of this body for this character. I like to see him on something like the Vulcan body or something a little buffer. Never have liked the legs on the Spider-Man UK body. The thighs look just too small for the rest of the body. Vulcan would have been a much better choice for the Blue Marvel. A little more jacked, better proportioned. They got this. Let's stop using bodies that don't really work for certain characters. I think Blue Marvel's been drawn to be a big dude. It seems missed opportunity not to use the Vulcan body for this character. And it's a lot of people have been wanting a Blue Marvel for a long time too. Not really my preferred look for the Blue Marvel. I like his second costume the best. And he's missing his gray streaks. He should have like Reed Richards style gray streaks on his temples. Reed Richards or Hal Jordan style streaks. I kind of like to have a little more saturation in the color of the costume too. I like the elms for the logos on the shoulders. The vest is a nice new sculpt. Got a little bit of paint splotch on the back of there and right there, which I'll fix that with some Winsor Newton. Got a new sculpted belt. Got the elm on the logo on the belt. Got nice paint deco on the arms. Been better if those could have been sculpted. One thing I do like about the Spider-Man UK body, the body does look like it's actually wearing clothing. You got the nice sculpted on wrinkles throughout the body. That looks good. The legs were, if they could just make new legs for this mold, I think it would help it a lot. Not a fan of those little tiny skinny legs. Looks like they made new boots for the Blue Marvel as well. The ball hips are wanting to basically spring into position too, and close, tight stance. And just as soon as you get to a certain spot, it wants to spring back in place. So the head sculpt looks nice. You got nice detailed sculpt, just missing the paint applications with the hair. And you can see all the details on the jacket. The body, like I said, with something we've seen multiple times, with the exception of, I think these are new boots, unless they were used on maybe Daredevil. One of the Daredevils, the black suit Daredevil, I think might have came with these, but I'm not sure. If not, these are new. Got alternate hands. Why? One of the alternate hands is a trigger hand. Yeah. Why are we giving superpowered characters that don't use guns trigger hands? And we got a style pose hand, and again, you can see fingernails. They have hands that's sculpted to be gloves, but this is meant to be a bare hand. At least with the fist hands, those look like to be sculpted for gloves. So that's nice. And he comes with some power effects we've seen before, but this time in a bluish purple. Goes over the fist. Looks good. And he comes with the controller's left leg. And for articulation, it's all what we've seen before. We got the disc hinge with the ball joint on top. You can look up, look down, disc hinge shoulders, go up to here, bicep rotation, double jointed elbows. It's an older body, so it's not pinless. Hinge and swivel wrist. Ab crunch. Crunch back this far. The vest is going to hinder it when you're going backwards. Crunches forward really far. That's the most crunch we've had out of any of the figures so far today, out of this wave so far. Waist twist. Ball jointed hips. Only this much. Kick out this much. And back. Almost nothing, just a little bit. Thigh rotation. Double joint knees. Boot rotation. Hinged ankles. Can go that far up, that far down. Ankle pivots. Alrighty, on to our next. We'll do U.S.Agent next. And we have him outside the packaging. He looks good. This is a update to something we've been wanting for years. Kind of surprised they went with this look. I would have bet money they were going to do a modern version of U.S.Agent with the release of the Venomized Captain America that had the boots and forearm bracers that the modern U.S.Agent was using, but there was no reason to sculpt those for the Venomized Cap. So I would have thought they were meant for a modern style U.S.Agent. This really surprised me. They went with the classic Buccaneer boots and gloves and look for it. But this is something I've actually made a while back. It's been in my collection for years. I made a more modern style U.S.Agent using the Walgreens Punisher and some Marvel Now cap parts. So I've already had one of these for a long time. And yeah, after having mine, this one kind of seems lackluster with the classic look. I would have preferred a modern look using those tactical boots and armored boot knee pads and forearm guards over the old classic look. Nothing wrong with this one. It looks good. Does the job. It's better than the one we had on the Bucky cap, because John Walker is a big character. Should have never been on a Bucky cap. John Walker is like a 6'4", and Steve Rogers is 6'3", something I think like that. We got this is using the Grim Reaper body. We got the Buccaneer gloves we've seen multiple times before, different versions of cap, same with the boots. We got the straps on the chest. They didn't do a good job lining them up. You got, when this is lined up here on the bottom, stripe, with the bottom stripe seems very big. Then these white stripes don't line up here. I might have to end up going through adding a little bit of white at the bottom so I can make all the stripes line up. Missing a little bit of red on the ab section. Star is nice and clean. We got a big star on the back. We got the wings on the head. Very much Captain America style head with, of course, a classic USAgent. A little bit... man, that forearm looks like it's chewed up. That does not look good. That is defects in the mold. It almost looks like it's been cut up and pulled out, yanked out with a pair of pliers or something other. That does not look good. I may be doing a modern upgrade for this one too. Then the overspray of the red on the gauntlets here, on the gloves. Not too crazy about that. I'm thinking he's going to be getting a upgrade. Definitely plan on doing the boot swap like I did this one. This is the ultimate caps, using the Punisher upper legs, so you can do that. So it gives you a little bigger calves too. That's one thing with these Buccaneer boots. You got some scrawny calves. Be a super soldier. Needs a harness too to fill out the chest, because Green Reaper Buck, the standard Green Reaper Buck, is kind of doesn't really have that V-shaped heroic proportion. I like the new torso they did with the new Sentry. They swapped it out with that. That would have been nice, something along those lines. But anyway, for accessories, he comes with a shield, which don't know why it's a grayish blue on the outside, no star in the middle. I figured that would have been just reuse the same shield pattern we've used before. Why change it up? Would have preferred with the star and the black ring on the outside. We get a open style pose hand. Been nice we could have got the throwing hand like we got with a lot of Captain America's. And we get a C grip hand. The one character who actually does use guns, they didn't give him a trigger hand. But they gave Blue Marvel a trigger hand. Okay. For detail, you see the head. The eyes look nicely painted. Clean on the cowl. The white on the wings look good. Missing a little bit of paint behind the ears. And like I mentioned, like the stripes, the lower stripes need to be touched up a little bit. Probably need to make that white stripe on the bottom just a little bit longer, because it looks oddly short and this long. Are they all like this? If yours has more even stripes on the bottom, comment down below. But yeah, that forearm is jacked up. That does not look good. I'll have to fix that one. But other than that, it's just basically a black body with red boots and gloves. Articulation, disc-hinged ball joint. It's Grim Reaper body, so we know what to expect. Down really good. Up decent. Disc-hinged shoulders. You got to be careful with the Grim Reaper body. If you go straight up, there's not enough clearance. It'll chew your shoulders up. So what you want to do is go forward, then lift them up, and rotate to get your arm out. Bicep rotation. Double jointed elbow. Gets you up to here. Into swivel wrist. Ab crunch goes back this far, forward this far. Waist twist. Ball jointed hips. Kicks out this far. Kicks forward this far. Back. Thigh rotation. Double joint knees. Boot rotation. Hinged ankles go up this much, down this much, and ankle pivots. On to the next. Speedball. He looks decent. He looks pretty good. He is lacking any kind of accessories. This is it. This is all you get. You get the torso to the controller, and you get Speedball. No effects pieces, no alternate hands, nothing. No, Can of Beans actually is making, I don't know if they're still available or not, but he made some really cool effects that go with this Speedball, which should have came with it. I guess they Besides, they spent so much on the paint deco, we're not going to give you any accessories for this figure. Because that is one thing that's nice on this. The deco goes all the way around, looks good on the head and the neck, the forearms, fist, the belt, and the boots and the feet have it all like circles and dots all throughout. Almost kind of like a Kirby Crackle. Which looks good on the figure. It's just nothing to show his powers. I'm hoping those effects are still available through Ken Beans. I'm going to order some for this. It's like he is severely lacking. But other than that, the sculpting looks nice. The new head sculpt, which is basically the only thing we're new on this figure. He actually has translucent lenses for the goggles, which is nice. Some big old flowing hair. Anybody that was talking about like the earlier Gambit figures that had the big, we call it the French fry hair. This dude looks like a candle burning. We got so much hair going up top. Must use a heck of a lot of product to make his hair stand up like that. But the sculpting is nice though. I love the fact they actually gave us translucent goggles and they went the effort and actually painted the eyes behind the goggles. Those look good. It is on the Sunfire body, so we know what to expect with the articulation. We got the disc hinge on the ball joint on the disc hinge. Look up, fantastic. That's a big range on that head. So you look up for flight poses. And down this much. Full 360. Disc hinge shoulders. Get you up to, whoop, wow. Keep going. Up that much. And we got butterfly joints. Go back really far. Forward really well. Bicep rotation. Double jointed elbow. Hinge and swivel wrist. Ab crunch. Goes back this much. Goes forward this much. Waist twist. Ball joint hips. Get you up this much. Kick forward. A little bit back. Thigh rotation. Double joint knee. Boot cut. Hinged ankles. Ankle pivots. He looks good. Just been nice. We could have got some alternate pieces for it, like alternate hands, effects pieces, anything besides just the base figure. Remember, the base retail on these figures now are $25. I got them like when Amazon they marked price match to Target. Was able to save on those. Painful retail for a base figure and no effects. That would be ridiculous. He comes with the torso for the controller. And it looks very much like the Thanos deluxe figure, because it's what it's based on. Final figure in the wave is Madam Hydra. And here we have Madam Hydra. I have to say, super disappointed in this figure. I've been wanting a replacement for Madam Hydra for a long time, since we've had that one with the horrible face and the really old Hasbro female body. And what did they give us? Instead of using the really good Shriek body, which they have a figure in the same wave using the good Shriek body, they use the skinny leg, horrible body they've been using for years. Why? When you got this, they gave us this. Hugely disappointed in that. I even got paint missing on the arms. Add to it. And talk about bad paint. That head is horribly painted. She's got caterpillar eyebrows. They did not put the eyeliner completely around her eyes. Hasbro. On the box, you have the way she should look. With the proper painted eyebrows, the right type of mascara look for her eyes. Look, but what do you do? Give her a look. It looks like she's high on cocaine. And we got caterpillars crawling across her face. What the hell? This is one we've been waiting for a long time, a redo of Madam Hydra. And you blew it. Seriously, why did you not just use the Shriek body? Much better body. I don't know what's going on with your painting, like faces. They're not doing real well, especially on the female figures here lately. So I can understand why they're wanting to do away with window boxes. It's not cost the eco-friendly, which it's not. You're cutting down more trees. They just don't want you to see the bad quality control. The sculpt, though, on the head is nice. It's just terrible paint. I'll end up repainting the head. I'll heat the head up, pop the hair off, and strip off those caterpillars, and repaint the eyebrows, and detail the eyes out. The arms are a reuse. The first time reuse of these arms was the Hellfire Club, Emma Frost and Celine, or the Black Queen. So they reused those so they can have the glove sculpt, but they got paint slop everywhere. Like the green doesn't cover the arms well. Got green up on the skin tones. It's molded in the skin tone, and the green's not covering here. Sloppy here. That's not much paint on it, and they still slopped it up. Okay. With how's on the torso, and we don't have good coverage either. They painted the skin tone on the torso. It's crooked lines, sloppy, not good coverage. Good job. And they used the torso, it's got the giant holes in the back. For no reason. They don't need to use this one. They have a torso that don't have the peg holes in the back, but they used it for Madam Hydra. Got a new belt piece with holsters. We got the guns we've seen multiple times before. We got a new deco on the handles. Look like kind of like snake skin. The guns are made out of really soft, pliable plastic, so they're really flexible. So they fit into the holsters. They feel really loose in these holsters, like they're not really meant for these guns. Comes with alternate fist hands and 2 trigger hands. We got vertically hinged hand over here, horizontally hinged hand here. They didn't even match the hands up. Oh, they did the same thing with Quake. Quake and Murray Hill. One hand is horizontally hinged, the other one's vertically hinged. For articulation, the neck is on a ball joint on a disc hinge, and it's stiff and a lot of hair. Can't really look up too much. It looks down more. Do a full 360. Disc hinge shoulders can go up this far. Single joint elbows get you right at 90 degrees. There's a swivel at the elbow. Hinge and swivel wrist. Horizontal on this side, vertical on the other. Full 360. Diaphragm joint. Can move back, bend back a little bit. Crunch forward better than back. Ball joint hips. Kick out this much. Kick forward this much. Back none. Thigh rotation. Double joint knees. Hinged ankles. Kick forward this far. Down this much. Ankle pivots. And she comes with the right leg with the controller. That finishes up the wave of figures. Let's go ahead and build the Build-A-Figure. Alright, let's go ahead and build the Build-A-Figure. Let's start with the arm. Okay, snapped in place. Let's do the other arm. Do the left leg. Right leg. And I'll form the head. There we go. We have the controller together. The controller looks really good. He shares, of course, the bodies with the deluxe Thanos they came out with, what was it, last year or year before? Really good sculpt on it. So you want to have a little bit of limited articulation in a few spots. which was true with the Thanos as well. Bringing in the Thanos, we can just do a quick comparison real quick. We have him here. You can see they share the same collar piece, same base body. We've got different torsos. Thanos' torso has these straps molded onto the body. So new parts compared between the two. Controller has a different torso, different gloves, different boots, different feet, and different hands. The base so they share arms, shoulders, biceps, the upper forearm piece, the waist, hips, thighs, knees, and upper lower legs. That is what they share in common, and the collar piece. I think I already mentioned that. Go ahead and put it on the side. Sculpt wise, all the new parts look really nice. I like that head sculpt. It looks really cool. We got those little discs in his hand. And he's got a new belt. He shares the waist with the Thanos, like I said. The belt is new. And all the hands are new. I like the texture inside the gloves. You got the nice fabric style texture there. Good looking sculpt on the boots. Looks good. Really works for the character. I like it. And he's got the alternate fist hands. And they carried on the sculpt. You can see that fabric in the gloved hands. The blue is that marbleized blue plastic they use for metallics. Wish they could get more like a solid color on those metallics. Certain times that marbleized looks okay, but on this, I feel a solid, consistent blue would look better. I like the shading and highlights throughout the figure. But when they do the shading and highlights, I don't know if you can see in the camera, it's the digital printing as well. You can see that dot matrix look to the shading highlights. But on this one, they got more on this thigh here than on the hip, so you got like a odd break in color. It's the same over here, but not as bad. A few nicks in the mold. A little bit of a defect there. And whoa, look at there. Bad molding defect right there. Big seam line. Like a cut throughout the figure, but it's from the injection molding process. Thunderstrike was real bad. If you took his vest off, it was real bad with those. It took me like 3 to get a good one. We got some seam lines throughout. Overall, it's a decent looking Build-A-Figure, but could use a little better QC issues. I got that on the back of my leg. For articulation, the head is on double ball peg, so you get nice tilt, wiggly waggly. Can look up a little bit and down. That ball peg is stiff. Tilt from side to side. Disc in shoulders. Go just straight out. Do a full 360 if the arms don't pop out. There you go. Full 360 bicep rotation. And we got single joint elbows. Not much bend though. Can't even do 90 degrees. That's it. Well, if we rotate it around, that's better. I think the forearm was turned around backwards. That's much better. Still not 90 degrees, but better than what it was. Ab crunch can go back this far. Not much, but like one click. Forward better. Waist twist, full 360, but I just popped that belt out. Well, that's a bad design. If you use the waist twist, it pops the belt out that notch. Good gosh, that was stupid. Why did they do that? If you pull it down, it can work. Okay, there we go. You gotta pull it down past the obliques. Ball joint hips. Can get you out this far. Kick out this much. Back this much. Thigh rotation, double joint knees. If only the elbows could move that much. There's no boot cut. And you got hinged ankles. Go up this much, down this much, and ankle pivots. That's the controller. After looking at the entire wave, I'd say my favorite from this wave is the Thor. He's probably got the best sculpting, the best look overall design out of all these figures. Second would be the Iron Man. Least favorite is the Madam Hydra. For using that old body and screwing up the face paint. Terrible work on that one. The controller, really neat. If they're going to use this Thanos body for different figures, they got to re-engineer those elbows. There's little to no articulation in those elbows, like for bending. The Thor, like I said, is though the standout in this wave. It'll look good too, since it's the Hero to Galactus Thor. We've got Galactus coming. And that'll look good with my cosmic display. But anyway, thank you for taking the time to watch the video. Like, share, comment, subscribe. And I'll catch y'all next time.